Woo! Man, that's the type of win that we needed to get after these last couple games and JLin being dissed and benched and all that stuff. Now, that was an awesome win. I want to tell you guys real quickly before I get into the game, I'm not going to do comments in this video. What I'll do is I'll do a comment video that'll go up before tomorrow night's game against Phoenix. So keep your eyes out for that. It's going to take me a while to do it. I might do it tonight, but I will get it up before tomorrow night's game. I just want to get this up because I'm pumped up. Okay, this was a close game. Houston gutted it out at the very end in the fourth quarter to get the win. This game was up for grabs, even though Houston ended up winning it 94-88. Houston was down heading into the fourth quarter, I believe, by 3 points. And as I mentioned at the top, we came into this game with JLin not playing in 3 straight fourth quarters. Now, one of those was a blowout, against Dallas, so he didn't have to play the fourth. But the other 2, one was against the Orlando Magic, and the other one was the last game against Dallas in Dallas. Coach McHale took a whole bunch of heat because he didn't play Jeremy in the fourth quarter of Dallas. In fact, on Rockets.com, they talked to Jeremy about it like the day after, and that looked like some damage control, as in, oh yeah, a whole bunch of Rocket fans and Lin fans around the world are giving us a hard time because we didn't play Lin. Oops, we better talk to Jeremy about it and make sure everything's okay. Whatever the case is, Jeremy played a whole bunch in the fourth quarter tonight, and he came up big. He wasn't perfect in the fourth quarter, but he was still clutch, and he was still Mr. Fourth Quarter. And it's a good thing that Coach McHale went with Mr. Fourth Quarter tonight instead of Patrick Beverley. Again, I like Patrick Beverley. I like him a lot. I've said that. I've repeatedly said he's better than Tony Douglas, and I'm glad the team has him. But Jeremy was the right choice tonight, and it worked out, and the team won. Hopefully, Coach McHale and the rest of the staff has learned the lesson. Play Jeremy, win. Now, like I said, if you win, then everything's great. If you don't win, it's not great. When Coach McHale played Patrick Beverley against Orlando, I'm cool with it because the team won. Tonight, team won. Jeremy played. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to know. Chandler Parsons was huge in this game. Very huge. He was the only person playing consistently well, scoring-wise, except for Jeremy. Jeremy played well. They didn't shoot that well. James Harden shot only 3 of 17 in this game, but he played a good game besides that. Houston was 15 of 25 from three-point range, and that's the reason why they won this game, because they shot so well from the outside, and they beat Golden State at their own game, which is shooting threes. Now, I just want to say this. If you watch this game, it looked like someone took a highlighter, like a yellow highlighter that you put on books, and like colored over the Golden State team and like half the court. It's painful to watch that. I love the Warriors, but it looks like you're watching something that somebody highlighted. It's like, man, it's so yellow. It's unbelievable. It's like watching human highlighters. With this win, Houston is 34-29. They're only one game back of Golden State for the number 6 spot in the Western Conference playoffs. They're a game and a half up on Utah for the 8th spot, and they're 2 games up on the Lakers, who won again tonight in overtime for the 9th spot. So there's a whole bunch of movement and positioning going on there at the bottom of the Western Conference. I think with this win, Houston has a very real chance to get the 6th spot, because now they have the tiebreaker against Golden State. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head, and I think they've beaten Golden State all 3 times this year, so they win 3-0 on the tiebreaker. So Golden State has a very favorable schedule. They have a whole bunch of home games, but if Houston can just find a way to just dig in and get some really important wins, they can get the 6th spot. And if they get the 6th spot, they'll probably play the Clippers. Now, the Clippers are better than Houston, but I'd rather play the Clippers than play like the Thunder or something. So this was huge. This was just a big woo win. Jeremy, let's turn to him. He had a terrific night. 15 points, 7 boards, which came out of nowhere, and 4 assists. He played 37 minutes. He was 3 of 9 shooting from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range, 8 of 9 free throws, 1 steal, no blocks, 1 turnover, 2 fouls, plus 11 and plus minus, and his efficiency number was 19. Now, his efficiency number, if you look at the stat sheet and you don't know what to look for, you'll think, wow, Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson really outplayed Jeremy. No, they didn't. Their efficiency numbers, Curry's was 22 and Klay Thompson's was 19. Jeremy's was 19. So he basically played those guys even up. The reason why Curry's stats look so great is because he shot 21 times. If Jeremy shot 21 times, well, maybe he has 30 points instead of 15. So that's why efficiency is so important. You get to understand a little bit more of what's going on besides just points. This was a borderline Linsanity 2.0 game. I thought seriously about calling it that. The only reason it's not is because he didn't shoot great. But the 7 rebounds and only 1 turnover, that's tremendous. 1 turnover in 37 minutes. That's pretty darn good. Jeremy played smart in this game. He picked up his level of play in the second half, which is different than the way he's played in the last several games, which is one of the reasons why McHale might have felt okay not going with him the fourth. In the last couple games, Jeremy had good first halves and didn't play as well in the second half. Well, that wasn't the case tonight. He had an excellent third quarter in this game, and he came up big in the fourth quarter as well. Again, he was not perfect in the fourth quarter, but he was clutch, and he had some really big plays when he needed to have them. Okay, let's go through quarter by quarter. Early in the first, Jeremy actually grabbed a rebound away from Andrew Bogut, who is the center for the Golden State Warriors. That was extremely impressive. They kind of both had their hands on it, and Jeremy got it. Also, early in the first, Jeremy had a nice pass to Demo for a three-point shot from 75 degrees left of the top of the arc. Middle of the first, Jeremy hits a three-point shot off the dribble from 15 degrees right of the top of the arc. That came with 7:41 left in the first quarter. Jeremy had a shot there in the middle of that quarter where he kind of took an off-balance jumper fading away. That wasn't a great shot. He didn't have his feet set, and I think it was a shot he had to take because the shot clock was running down. I noticed early in this game, and I said Jeremy played better in the second half than the first. I thought that early in this game, the first quarter, I thought Jeremy was dribbling a little too much without a purpose, and I thought he had his head down a little bit too much when he was dribbling, like he wasn't seeing the entire court, which is not like him. I'm not sure why that was. It could have been anything, but he was a little bit off to me in the way he was conducting the offense in the first quarter. But again, he figured it out and went from there. Jeremy came out of the game late in the first quarter with 23 seconds left in the first quarter. Golden State was up 28-21. He came in for Patrick Beverley. Okay, moving on to the second quarter. Jeremy was on the bench to start the second quarter. Not a big surprise since Patrick Beverley came in with only 23 seconds left in the first quarter. We got to see that Patrick Beverley can dunk because early in the second, after the whistle blew, Patrick Beverley kind of drove in and kept playing and did a little dunk, it was a pretty nice dunk. That's pretty impressive for somebody his size. I noticed, too, that this is just an aside, that Andrew Bogut has like some kind of crazy pirate mustache or something going on. It's like really long, and it reminded me of the guy from Gangs of New York, the character that Daniel Day-Lewis played. Just kind of a wild mustache. Look, I love Andrew Bogut. I'm not trying to diss him. I'm just kind of having fun with him. I'm like, man, where'd that mustache come from? But I also made a note that Houston needs another scorer and a guy who can get his own shot off the dribble. That would really help them a lot. But they will. Again, Daryl Morey, he'll be working on that this summer. I'm quite sure of that. Okay, middle of the second with 6:35 left in the second. Golden State was up 41-28, so they were up by 13 points. Jeremy came back into the game. The unit that he came back in with started making a comeback, and that was good. They really started to get this game going more their way. I thought Jeremy kind of looked a little bit lost in this sequences, like on his defense. I made a note, Jeremy still needs to work on his defense, although he had some great defensive plays in this game. But I just made a note at that time. Jeremy had a nice feed to Omer in the middle of the second, but Omer wasn't able to finish it. Of course, we've seen that before, but it happens. Omer will keep getting better and better at that. That just takes time. Late in the second, Jeremy got hit really hard on the dribble. I can't remember where he was at. He got 2 free throws, even though he was not in the act of shooting, but because Houston was in the bonus. So if you are in the bonus, any foul means you shoot 2 free throws. And the guy that hit him was Green. I can't remember his first name. He's the same guy, I believe, that hit Patrick Beverley with that cheap-looking foul whenever Beverley was trying to shoot a 3 in the record-setting three-pointer game. It was a hard foul on Jeremy. Jeremy took it. He made both free throws, and that came with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left in the second quarter, and that made the score 45-40 Golden State. So already Houston had trimmed 8 points off of Golden State lead in about 8 minutes or so at that point in time. Also late in the second quarter, Jeremy he almost had a turnover. He kind of had a little bit of a wild pass, but it was recovered and it was saved, so it was not a turnover, which is good. Jeremy, late in the second as well, he drove very hard to the rim. It looked like the lane was open. He was coming on the right-hand side, going for a right scoop layup, but at the last second, Andrew Bogut came in, and Jeremy missed because he was concerned that Bogut was going to block his shot. I thought Jeremy got hit on that play, but there was no foul called. Soon after that, Bogut and Lin collided in Golden State's half of the court, I believe, on offense, and they both were dinged a little bit, but they were okay. There was nothing, nobody got hurt badly in that. At the end of the second, at halftime, it was 50-48 Houston. So Houston had come all the way back from the 13-point lead and had actually taken the advantage. And that came with Jeremy in the game, Harden, and some other guys. Jeremy started the third quarter. So he started the third quarter. Now I noticed that James Harden was doing a lot of point guard work tonight. I think he had like 8 assists or something. So he was playing point a lot, which is fine. He wasn't shooting well. He was passing well, so let him do it. If he wants to pass and play make, that's fine. That's okay. He did a good job of that tonight. Looking at my notes there. Okay, early in the third, Jeremy had a really nice crossover move and one layup from the right-hand side of the court. I think like the right-hand side of the free throw line is about where he started. He beat his guy, and he beat Andrew Bogut. That was a terrific move. It was a quick crossover move. He beat Stephen Curry, and he made the free throw as well. And I think Stephen Curry had just beaten Jeremy on a play. So it's like Jeremy wanted payback, and he got it really well on that move. Early in the third, Jeremy went really hard again to the rim, and he got hit very, very hard in the face. I can't remember. It was Bogut. And Bogut wasn't trying to hit him. Like in that one game in Houston, Bogut was trying to hit him just to send a message. Not to hurt him, but just to hit him. I don't think he tried to hit him, but man, Jeremy got smacked in the nose extremely hard. He didn't bleed from the nose, though, which is good because, I mean, it was such a hard shot that he could have easily, but he didn't. He got 2 free throws, and he made them both. Then, again, this is also early in the third, so we had a couple different – Jeremy's starting to roll now. He came from the right-hand side of the top of the lane, and he did what I've told you guys before, it's called drive, draw, and dish. You drive, you beat your man, you draw the second defender away from another guy on your team, then you pass the ball to that guy whose defender came to guard you. He beat Curry, I believe, drew Andrew Bogut. Omer Asik was wide open because Bogut left him, passed to Asik, big dunk. At this point, this came with, when was this? This was early in the third. I don't know, maybe it was around 8:50 left. Jeremy was taking over the game. This was Linsanity 2.0 streak right here. So if you're watching the highlights from Gerald, Bylon, or whoever, you're going to see stuff from early in the third quarter. This was total Linsanity domination. We saw this in the last game, I believe. Jeremy can just take over the game, and that's exactly what he did there. And there's different ways to take over the game, as I've told you guys before. You can pass, you can shoot, you can get fouled and hit free throws. He just took it over, and it was phenomenal. As I said, I think he had it in his head that he was going to play well in the second half because he didn't play well in the second half of the last couple games. So I said, Jeremy's competitive. He remembers stuff, and he came out strong in the third and really got it done. And I made notes. I was just super happy. Said, that's the way you play the game. You don't want to get too beat up because he really got hit hard on that second foul. But this is the way. I made a note that says, this is how J-Lin can take over McJoke. In other words, play him. You need to play him or you can't get that result. And Jeremy was mad a little bit at this point in time, too. As I said, Stephen Curry was trying to take him, and he had. And so he got his competitive fire was up. And he was like, okay, let's go. So I said, that's one of the things I love about Jeremy. He's very competitive. Other people have pointed out he is competitive beneath the nice Harvard-educated exterior. He's a competitive dude. And I told you guys I thought he would bounce back well in this game because of what happened in the last game. And that's exactly what he did. That's why I'm not worried about him, because he's tough. And he showed it again tonight, and it was great. Let me see here. Jeremy had his only turnover of the game in the middle of the third quarter, and it came because he and Omer miscommunicated on a play. Jeremy wanted Omer to come up and set a pick for him, but Omer didn't understand, or he didn't come up quickly enough. And so what ended up happening was Jeremy had to hurriedly make a pass to his right, and it got picked off. So it was, and then after that, he kind of talked to Omer, and they shook hands. It was just a miscommunication, but he was trying to get Omer to set up a pick and roll, and it just didn't happen fast enough. But look, it's good. Jeremy was in control. He went and talked with Omer after it, and Jeremy's trying to get more pick and rolls, which is good. That's what he's great at. So he's calling them out more, and that's definitely good to see. Soon after that play, Donatas Motiejunas had a terrific follow-up dunk. Somebody missed on the Rockets, and Demo kind of came in, swooped in, and had a big-time dunk. That was great. Middle of the third quarter, Jeremy had a hockey assist, which means you don't get credit for a hockey assist in the NBA. It means you pass to somebody, and then they pass to somebody, and that last person hits a shot. So you start the play off, even though you don't get credit for an assist. So Jeremy passed the ball to Demo, who passed the ball to open James Harden for a three-pointer. That was a tremendous play, and it just shows you how well the ball was moving tonight for Houston. Jeremy also in the middle of the third had a great wraparound pass to Demo, but Demo wasn't able to catch it, or I think he didn't expect it. But it was an excellent play by Jeremy. Soon after that, Andrew Bogut, of all people, hit a three. I think he had to take the shot with the shot clock winding down. He ended up taking the three, and he hit it. That cut the score to 66-62 Houston with 5 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third quarter. soon after that, Jeremy had great defense on Stephen Curry, and he forced Curry into an air ball scoop layup attempt. He got good position on Curry. Curry tried to make his move, but Jeremy just got position was too good, and he ended up airballing the shot. After that, Jeremy had another one of those plays where he jumped to pass. He did that probably 3 or 4 times in this game. As I said, that's a no-no. That's one of the things you're taught not to do. So Jeremy's got to be careful about that. Even though it didn't get him tonight, he did only have the 1 turnover, and it was not from a jumping to pass situation. It's still not something that you want to do. Now, soon after that, Golden State started making a run. They went up 70-66 with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the third. They were kind of making their run, and the crowd was just going nuts. And I've said this before. I love Golden State's crowd. I've been to games there in Oakland, and their crowd is awesome. I mean, it's gotten better than when I used to go. It was good then, but now it's like off the chain. I don't know why it's so good, but it's great. I think it's just phenomenal, and the crowd was up and very pumped up. Okay, Patrick Beverley came in for Jeremy with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the third quarter. And I made a note right then. It says, Jeremy better play in the fourth quarter. No excuses tonight because he did great in the third quarter. And Beverley was having an okay game, but not a great game. So there was no reason Jeremy shouldn't play in tonight's fourth quarter. And thankfully he did. So again, Mikhail will learn just like Jeremy will learn and everybody else will learn. You got to try different things. That's how you find out what works and what doesn't work. So give Mikhail credit. He learned from his mistake. Now, I told you guys before one time about goaltending, and I said there's 3 different ways you get goaltending. One is if you touch the ball after it's coming down from the top of its arc. Like, someone shoots it, it's going towards a basket, and you hit it on the way down. That's goaltending. Another way is if the ball hits the rim, a guy does a layup, the ball hits the backboard. So the guy does a layup, it hits the backboard, and then you touch it. That's goaltending. And then I said the third way is if you disrupt the ball while it's in the cylinder. So there's like an invisible cylinder going up above the rim. And those are the 3 ways you'll get goaltending. Greg Smith of the Rockets got away with goaltending, I thought, on one of the plays because he reached his hand up into the net and through the rim. So I guess that's a 4th way. You're not allowed to do that. But I think the referees missed it. It came late there in the third. Somebody put up a shot, and I thought Greg Smith put his fingers up through the net and affected the shot, or the net or the rim. You can't do that. So that's the 4th way you get goaltending. You saw a good example of it there. Now, starting off the fourth quarter, Jeff Van Gundy, ESPN, was interviewing Mark Jackson, coach of the Warriors, and that was fun because they used to be broadcast partners with ABC and ESPN, so they kind of had a good little joke there, although, as I told you guys, I watched the games with the sound down, so I don't know what the joke was, but I knew Jeff Van Gundy would say something funny to him, and I saw them both laughing, so obviously that's what happened. Okay, and I made another note here. Jeremy started the fourth quarter on the bench, and I put a note, he better play tonight or they might riot in Golden State because remember, Jeremy started his career in Golden State, and he's from Palo Alto, which is very close to Oakland. So you can imagine there's a whole bunch of people that were at that game tonight to see JLin play. So forget about Houston fans getting mad. You're going to have to deal with Golden State fans. They're going to be mad if Jeremy doesn't play in the fourth quarter. Thankfully, we didn't have any issue with that because he played a lot of the fourth quarter. Patrick Beverley played pretty well early in the fourth quarter here. He did. He had a really nice steal. He had a blown assist to Carlos Delfino for a wide-open three that Carlos just missed. And he almost had another one of his huge offensive rebounds. He played well in the time that he was in. He came out of the game for Jeremy with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And at that point in time, Golden State was up 76-73. And I made a note that says, finally freaking Mikhail. Again, it's the first time Jeremy played in the fourth quarter in the last 4 games. I mean, he didn't play for 3 straight fourth quarters. So Jeremy went right to work. He forced a turnover on David Lee on a nice play. He drove to the basket. I didn't get the angle and stuff where he drove to the basket and he drew the foul. He shot 2 free throws, made 1 out of 2. They showed that NBA Commissioner David Stern was in attendance. He's on a West Coast trip right now. I don't know what it's about, but he was there checking out the game. This was a really great play. And it came with the score tied at 76-76. James Harden had the ball at a little bit of the left of the top of the arc, outside the three-point line, and he passed the ball to Carlos Delfino. But James Harden had Andrew Bogut guarding him. Basically, there was a mix-up or a switch on a pick and roll, and so Harden had Bogut on him. Now, remember, Harden was having a tough night shooting. He was whatever he was. I don't know, at that time, maybe he was, 2 of 15 or something. And Delfino was like, no, you take it. In other words, you've got a mismatch against Andrew Bogut. You take him and take the shot. So Harden didn't want to take the shot because he wasn't shooting well. Passed the ball to Delfino, and Delfino passed the ball back to him and kind of was like, no, you do it. And that was great, man. That's teamwork. That's how you build guys' confidence. What Delfino is basically saying is, look, dude, you're the man. I don't care if you're 1 of 100. You take the shot. You take it. You have an advantage because you have a mismatch against a big guy, and you take it. And James Harden took a 3, and he hit it. That's the type of play that makes great teams because of the chemistry. Delfino wouldn't take the shot. He wouldn't take it. He made Harden take it, even though Harden wasn't feeling confident. That's what it's all about. That was a great play by Carlos Delfino, a terrific play. Middle of the fourth, Jeremy forced Klay Thompson into a wild miss on a layup, just like we did to Stephen Curry earlier. Just got good position on him and just forced him into a very bad shot. So as I said, Jeremy wasn't perfect on defense in this game, but he was good in the fourth quarter when he needed to be. Mr. Fourth Quarter, we've seen that before. Also, middle of the fourth, Jeremy drove the lane. I think he fell down. So he's on his knees. He passed the ball out to his left, and Francisco Garcia hit a great three-pointer from the left corner. So that was a great play by Jeremy and Garcia. Jeremy had the heads up to make the pass, even though he was on the ground, and Francisco Garcia caught it and hit the 3. Look, Garcia's playing great for Houston. He's hitting shots, and that's what he does. So it's great. Middle of the fourth as well, Jeremy made a hard cut away from the ball, starting from the right free throw line, extended towards the rim. I believe it was Harden, hit him on a nice little pass, and Jeremy went right in and did a layup over Bogut. We've said it before, and I'll say it again. Jeremy's getting better at playing off of the ball. We said he needs to learn to play off of the ball, and that's what he did on that play. And we've seen him do these cuts and layups the last few games. He's getting better at these things. He's getting better at this stuff. Again, he continues to improve in all facets. The more that he can do that, the more he's going to be able to score more easily. Jeremy then, right after that play, had a great move in transition, but he airballed a layup because he took off too soon. He just didn't have his placement right. The move was great. He beat his guy easily, but his positioning was wrong. So unfortunately, he missed the shot. Wait a second here. You know what? I take it back. And I forgot to write this. I'll correct myself. The pick and roll screw up between Jeremy and Omer Asik that I said was a turnover actually wasn't a turnover. That's right. They didn't give that to Jeremy. The people that keep the official score, that keep the record of what happened in the game, they didn't give that turnover to Jeremy, which was good because it wasn't his fault. But here in the middle of the fourth, he did have a bad pass after he drove the lane and did his little stop and pivot around move. He had a bad pass that he just messed that up. And then soon after that, late in the fourth, he He forced up a shot. I can't remember who was guarding him, someone pretty tall, and he tried to do a fadeaway, and it just wasn't a good shot. So those two little plays, that's where he kind of, that was where his struggles, so to speak, in the fourth quarter. But he made up for it with everything else he did. Now, this game was 89-88 Houston with 1 minute and 54 seconds left. Jeremy drove the lane. He stopped. He didn't shoot at first, but he did that. I told you guys this, but he's doing this more lately. He did the little pump fake. You show the ball like you're going to go up, but you don't go up. The defender goes up. You get him to foul you. And that's exactly what Jeremy did. It was a great play. A great play. He got Stephen Curry up in the air. That's the expression. And then he pretended like he was going to shoot. And so you get 2 free throws. That was, not only was it a great move, but it was so smart. It was so smart. Again, this was a 1-point game at that time. It was a 2-point game, whatever. It was a very close game. And this came with 45 seconds left in the game. And Houston was up by, again, they were up by 2 points then. I was wrong. They were not up by 1. They were up 2. So he drew that foul and hit both free throws. That's Mr. Fourth Quarter. That was clutch, and it was smart. That's a veteran play. That's the type of play you'd see Dwayne Wade make or Kobe Bryant make. Jeremy's learning, and he's learning quickly, and he's getting better and better at this. Then I made a note. Jeremy had 9 free throw attempts in this game. What I told you guys before is during Linsanity 1.0, he was averaging 5 free throw attempts, so he almost had double that tonight. That's how you score points without taking shots. That's how you score points even if you're not hitting your shots. And Jeremy was only 3 of 9 tonight, but he still got 15 points. Why? Because he drew fouls. That's one of the things you have to learn in basketball. If you're a scorer, find ways to get your points. And one of the best ways is get fouled. All the top scorers in the league, Durant, LeBron, Harden, Kobe, they all get to the free throw line a lot. And Jeremy's learning how to do that better and better. He took some hard shots tonight, but most of the plays were just smart plays. 9 free throw attempts is tremendous. Now, he's not going to do that every game. It's not going to happen. But if he can get back up to, again, his average for this year was about 3. Linsanity 1.0 was 5. If he can get that up to 5, his points are going to go up consistently. Golden State basically blew the game at the end of the game. Just had a couple stupid plays, in my opinion. And it was funny because right as the game was winding down, they showed Thomas Robinson talking to McHale. They were both kind of laughing or whatever. It's just funny. You can see those two get along pretty well, which is good to see. So, again, Mr. Fourth Quarter, McHale did the right thing. He put Jeremy in the fourth quarter. Jeremy delivered, and Houston won. And that's it. And McHale will learn from this, just like he learned from the last game. I didn't play him. We didn't win. Tonight, played him. We won. He'll learn. And he played him tonight, even if, not knowing they were going to win. That's how it works. It's too bad that Jeremy has to keep proving himself. Pretty soon, the proving will be over. Believe me, it'll be over really, really soon, if it's not already. So, as I said, it doesn't bother me because I knew Jeremy would respond. I knew it. I knew he'd be well tonight, do well, because he got dissed in the last game, the Dallas game. And that's what he does. That's why he's him. That's why he had Linsanity 1.0. And that's why, that's why he made it to this point, even though nobody wanted him. That's it. He's got that it factor. He's got the competitiveness and the resolve, and he got it done. It was great. Again, this was a huge win. Definitely a woo win. And that's it, man. I'm pumped. I'm just pumped up and fired up. Okay, as I said, I'm not going to do any comments right now, but I will do a comment video. before tomorrow night's game. The next game is tomorrow night, which in the United States, it is Saturday, March 9th at 9 o'clock Eastern Time against the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix, I believe. Now, we've talked about this before. Phoenix is the last team that Houston hasn't played this year. So it's opponent number 29, and their starting point guard is Goran Dragic, who played for Houston last year at point guard along with Kyle Lowry. That's going to be a good matchup for Jeremy. Goran Dragic is, I think he's 6'3", 6'4". He's very athletic, very talented. I think he's from somewhere in Eastern Europe. I want to say the Balkans, but I'm not sure. That should be a good matchup. And as I said, then after that, Jeremy's seen all the teams. You play some teams and guys are injured, but pretty much he's seen everybody then. So I'm looking forward to that game. Phoenix is not a good team, and they're missing their starting center, Marcin Gortat. So Houston should win, but they are playing back-to-back, and they're going to need to go into that game. They need to start getting a mentality like they want the 6th seed. And they did it tonight, and I'm looking forward to that. So that's it for now. Your comments below, thumbs up, thumbs down. Give you full information in the video description below the video player. Game stories, video highlights of the game, box score of the game. Also information so you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group if you'd like to do that. We have over 2,000 members there and counting. I am Paul at Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 JLin YouTube fan channel. Great win. I will be doing the comments video before tomorrow night's game, so look for that. And that's it, man. I'm pumped up. Again, a whole bunch of great comments in the last video, in the Game 62 video, I believe it was. People from Malaysia, all over the place. We love that. Just great to see more people commenting. I know the video before that, BB from Mexico, just all kinds of people from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, all over the place. We love that. We love you guys' comments. Also, the guy, Marvin209, great stuff, man. I appreciate that you're listening. 209's great. It's Stockton and that whole area. Again, I used to live out in the Bay Area, so I know that area well. That's cool. It's cool that you're listening. I'm glad you had a chance to comment. As I said, I will address more comments in the comment video. For now, this is a win, and let's keep moving, Houston and JLin. And, of course, it is right now 2:30 a.m., early Saturday, March 9th in the eastern part of the United States, which means it is 3:30 p.m. in Taipei, Taiwan. You didn't really think I was going to forget to do that, did you? No, I don't think so.